welcome to episode 10 of E-Table Talk with Sarah, where we aim to lower down working adults' burnt out rates. Yeah. Now, I'd like to start off today's chat with a quote by Benjamin Franklin. It goes something like this: "When you're finished changing, you're finished." Yeah. So, business leaders likely weren't the attended audience, yeah, when Benjamin uttered his now famous quote. However, his words likely resonate deeply with the leaders in today's rapidly evolving marketplace, who know that for their business to thrive, they must be prepared to adapt and embrace new technologies. In fact, I was reading a short article just last night, which says that COVID actually expedites the digital transformation in 7 years. If not, we are always complacent, knowing that, yeah, it will come. But, that really, COVID really expedites that. So now AI, artificial intelligence, yeah, it's at the forefront of digital technologies, transforming business, but its advancement often raises a polarizing debate. So today, I'm actually very, very honored to have Kahar on board with me, discussing the symbiotic partnership between humans and machines. Kahar Saidun is well known as very interestingly, the Malay Wing Chun master and Malaysia's own Ip Man. When I was researching Kahar's background, a very interesting fact I found that when he was a teenager, he was obsessed with Wing Chun, which has made him now one of the few masters of the martial art style in Malaysia today. So Hong Kong actor Donnie Yen's skillful kung fu moves and brilliant portrayal as a Wing Chun grandmaster in the Ip Man movie series have left a mark on martial arts enthusiasts worldwide. But even before the making of the films, way back in 1991 in Kuala Lumpur, Kahar was already learning the older version of Wing Chun, known as Yip Kin Wing Chun, from Sifu Master Yip Fuk Choi. Quite a tongue twister here for his names. Now, so it's been in Malaysia since 1918. Ip Man's version came about when he moved to Hong Kong in 1949. So Kahar is now among only 3 Yip Kin Wing Chun master instructors in Malaysia, and is currently teaching the martial art to about 100 students, over 100 students at 4 centers now, 3 in Kuala Lumpur and 1 in Petaling Jaya. And he is also a very successful business consultant and motivational expert. He gets himself involved with a lot of corporate work. But Kahar, I'm personally always impressed and admire those who manage to go all the way in mastering the martial art, to be honest with you, because I did, had a fair share of taekwondo during my primary and secondary school times. Taekwondo, I got involved in, it was karate at one point. And then when I was working, I was involved in Muay Thai. There's there was a center in Damansara.
Wow.
But it was for a short stint, just to keep fit. And then things got busy. I got busy with life and then died off just like that. So for you, it's really admirable. So well done there.
Thank you.
Yeah, so officially welcome you on board, Kahar. Thank you so much for taking time off with me this morning. How's it going for you today?
Oh, fantastic. A fantastic morning, a fantastic start for what I hope to be the fantastic month and the fantastic year ahead.
Yeah.
And I wish you the same.
Thank you, Kahar.
Yeah.
Thank you. Positive words there. Love it.
Yeah.
So my first question to you, if you can share with our viewers, actually, what is Wing Chun? Can you tell us more about Wing Chun?
Okay. For me to tell you about what Wing Chun is, most probably I have to go into a bit of the history. Okay.
Yeah.
So Wing Chun is actually a martial arts created by a person whose name is Wing Chun.
Okay.
Her name was Wing Chun. Yes. So her family name was Yim. So Yim Wing Chun, that's her name. Across all the different styles of Wing Chun that's in existence today, this is the, how should I say, the only name, according to the oral history, this is the name that's The same with any Wing Chun schools around the world.
Okay.
Okay, so, well, there are many versions of the story. Some schools say that started from the father, some schools say started from nun. Well, that is another, how should I say, another point that's the same with all the different schools of Wing Chun in the world. There's a nun called Ng Mui, and then there's a student of the nun called Yim Wing Chun. So that's what Wing Chun is. So what Wing Chun is as a martial arts is, it's a martial arts that's very compact, very small. So it's actually very good for people of small stature, people who are small like me. I'm quite small. I'm 5 feet tall, right? So people who are small, people who are like softer, more relaxed, or even weaker. So it's created to actually help these kind of people. Yes, so that's what it is. So
I
in a
see.
nutshell, that's what Wing Chun is.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. Very interesting. Okay. Now, my next question to you, Kaha, would be
Yeah.
in martial arts, yeah? How can martial arts help individuals achieve mental fitness?
Okay, martial arts, as everyone knows, is martial, which is war, or it's like elements of war, martial, and arts is, it's like a contradictory statement, because in one hand you have strife, you have all the problems, all the wars, but on the other hand is arts. It's beautiful. It's also ever changing, always in evolution. So how martial arts can do is, when you learn martial arts, you learn, number one, to be able to control your mind. Why do you need to control your mind? It's because 300 years ago, when people go to war, especially in China, which is why I'm interested in Wing Chun, is when I go to a battlefield, I've got 1 million people behind me, and I'm fighting another million people in front of me. So the amount of mental strength, mental toughness needed so that you can stand in between these 2 million people, help the 1 million at the back, and then try to bring down the million in front. I mean, yeah, you need the physical, you need the mental, you need the techniques, you need the skills, you need principles, and you need to know many different types of weapons. I believe that Chinese martial arts, especially, all martial arts, but Chinese martial arts especially, is the key to mastery. So the second key after mental toughness and strength is actually mastery. When you learn martial arts, you actually learn how to learn. And because you learn how to learn, when we go into the corporate world, or we go into the business world, we become an entrepreneur. So we have to learn very fast in a very short amount of time. Right? Okay, we have to learn very fast again. That's something wrong there, I think. But yeah, we have to learn something very, very fast. We have to adapt very, very fast. And learning martial arts will give you the skills also for you to cope with these kind of challenges and problems. That's what I believe martial arts is. So when you have martial arts on your back, you have actually the mental tools, the physical tools, and then also the strategies for you to move forward in whatever you do. So yes, that's what I believe martial arts is. Yeah.
Right, right. No, I can totally relate to that. And you have a point. I mean, when we enter into the corporate world, there's no direct training manuals. The training manuals are for the datas and what have you. But in terms of
Yeah.
socializing in corporate, we don't have an actual manual that we can refer to. You know, this boss has this kind of attitude, that colleague has this kind of attitude. So we're on our
Yeah.
own. So martial arts definitely plays a part to strategize your movements in this
Yes.
world, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. I mean, yeah, one of the main problems, okay, the other day, I actually helped a friend, and I had to bring him to what do you call that? Psychiatric clinic. Okay. So when I arrived there, for me, it was something like something new. I didn't have never experienced before. I've never been to a psychiatric clinic in my life before. It was full from start to finish. So for me, that tells me one thing. We actually have, how should I say, mental health problem in Malaysia. Why I say that is because, okay, the clinic was full, but I also know that a majority of people would not go to a psychiatric clinic because they don't want people to know that they have problems, right? So, yeah, based on what I saw that day, I believe that there's more outside there, people having these mental kind of issues. So, I mean, yeah, so we have to get our mental health issues, mental health as strong as we can, as fast as we can. And I believe that the best way is martial arts because we actually have to go through all the stresses and then be relaxed with the stress. Yeah, when you learn how to do that, come what may, it won't be easy. I mean, stress is still stress. It won't be easy. Stress is stress. A challenge is still a challenge, but at least your heart, your mind is like, I'll receive whatever that comes. I'll have fun with the stress. I'll have fun with the challenge. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
important.
yeah. And I think as well, when one practices martial art with you, and yeah, for all martial arts, that is, you tend to focus shift your problems, your challenges
Mhm.
towards the class, isn't it? So that helps in whatever coordination. But you know what? You're right. Mental health
Mm.
issue is big in Malaysia.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we are still in a I always call it the guarded community where we are in denial most of the time, but we are all crazy.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah, I'm crazy also. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
of 10 working adults, 6 will face mental health issues. And very
Wow.
interestingly, the videos with e-table talks with all the different topics. Last week, I uploaded a topic on addiction. So look at the
Oh, okay.
stats, yeah, the stats. Because we are still in denial, it's okay, it's very normal. The number of acknowledgement, and as in the likes and the sharings, is low, but the views are high. So
Wow.
they
Okay.
watch in silent, but it's okay. That's the idea of e-table talk, to bring down the stigma, to bring down that it's everybody faced and we're not alone, isn't it, Kaha?
Mm. Yeah, we're not alone. I mean, everybody have got a mental challenge once or twice or how many times it is in their lives. I mean, in my life too, and I've been doing martial arts for 30 years. All right, so in my life too, I've got. I mean, there were times where I was really poor. There were times I was actually homeless for a while. So when you go through these challenges, yes, I was homeless for a while, but not in Semenanjung. It was in Sarawak. When you go through these things, your mind have to cope with it very fast, or you go cuckoo. So yes, because our mind is designed to actually protect us from harm. So when you do not know how to deal with it, then the mind takes over. When the mind takes over, then you are partially in trouble. Yeah. So you have to learn it. You have to actually live it so that we can go through any challenges. How should I say? It's never smooth, but at least you have the ability to control yourself better. You have the ability to get out of the negative state better. You have the ability to stay in the positive state better. So that's what we need. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that where you're from, Sarawak?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
actually from Batu Pahat.
I'm from Batu Pahat. I was wondering because you mentioned Sarawak. I thought you were there. Okay, so from Johorian.
I'm a Johorian, yes. I love
Okay,
my king.
it's interesting. Yeah. Here's a bonus question to you. As in, I
Yes.
think it was 3 days back when we were shocked by the article uploaded by Berita Harian. Was it that the ex-pilot of AirAsia committed suicide
Ah,
in the
yes.
Kinrara condominium Puchong? He's 36 years old. It's
Oh
very
my
young.
God.
Um, but this issue is nothing new, suicidal, but it's quite quite different in Malaysia, I would say, or maybe the media is not publicizing the rest of the cases. What is your take on what happened to him? Um, you know, what do you think? Yeah, stress.
Oh, well, for us, for somebody to go to that state, I mean, well, there's a lot of reasons that might come up. I mean, external reasons, of course, but the main thing is the mind. His mind was not able to handle it. Maybe, well, the simple answer is this: we are what we focus on. So I'll repeat that one more time. We are what we focus on. So if bankruptcy is being put on our head and we focus that in the future you'll have no money, you can't do anything, you can't fly because if you're bankrupt, you cannot go outside of the country, then you cannot work. If you focus on that, of course, what kind of mental state will we be in? Everybody will go down like really fast. It's like, okay, things are not gonna. It's like when you focus on something that's bad, then your thinking might go to things will go bad and worse. Okay, bad to worse. But okay, there's always another side to the whole picture. I don't have the photo here, but for example, right? Take a big photo with a lot of sceneries inside. A lot of sceneries meaning if you go to a party, for example, when you go to a party or you go to a kenduri, okay, you see one group of people working, they're like so focused. And then another group of people like very happy, the pengantin, all right? The bride and bridegroom would definitely be happy. But sometimes you see the bridegroom or bridegroom tension, okay? And then one group is laughing, one group is like being scolded. So that's the whole picture of a kenduri or a party. But if we were to focus on only one aspect of the whole picture, then that aspect becomes the whole picture. For example, if you go to a party, you look at a group of people who are very happy, then your mind might say, oh, it's a happy party. But if you were to focus on one point, one scene where the people are actually fighting, or it's a bad party. If you go to a party and see a couple like really loving with each other, or it's a very romantic party. But the true point is this, the truth is actually all of these things happen in one party. So it's what your mind focuses on that determines your feeling about the party itself. So it's the same thing as whatever is happening in our lives. Recently, I had to help a friend go through some challenges, all right? So this friend, the mind is always focusing on one problem. His mind was focusing on a boss that was always or is always giving him a lot of trouble. But when I asked further about his life in general, he has a fantastic relationship with his family, with his siblings, with his friends, all right? He has quite a considerable, savings. He's got a lot of money, right? He's having fun. In other areas of his life, he's definitely having fun. But because the mind is focused only on that boss, he has depression and quite bad, which was why I had to take him to the psychiatric ward. So it's about where we focus on. So to put it like, to summarize it, when you feel like you're having challenges, then you write down all the other things that's happening to you at that time. So you might have one problem, but you'll definitely see there's a lot of other pluses in your life. So change your focus and then you can change your life.
Thanks, Kahar,
That's it.
thanks, Kahar, for
Yeah.
sharing that. That's
Yes.
we always forget. We know that for a fact that to focus on the positivity in life is so crucial to determine your path. We will often forget, but people like you keep on reminding that when we wake up in the anything happens before coffee doesn't count. Yeah, I always say that to myself. So I am out with coffee. So you wake up in the morning, all the negative thoughts comes into you. So no, that's aside now. I read a book last
Well,
week. I read a book
yeah.
last week on magic of thinking big. So
Oh,
one of
wow.
the
Okay.
one of the
Good
pages,
book.
the chapter is saying that uh, employ two things in your brain. Number one is
Mhm.
Mr. Triumph, and number two is Mr. I forgot about that. Mr. Whatever. It's a negative word. I forgot about it. But always employ Mr. Triumph when negativity starts trickling into your thoughts. So that's
Yes, yes.
something that what you are enforcing. Thanks for that. So
Most good. Yep.
here's a question for our children. Really, a lot of our viewers have children with them, family. So many of
Mm-hmm.
us parents think that martial arts as something for kids to do. Really as an after-school activity, just to get them busy, so they focus on discipline, respect, getting good grades, and have an outlet for their ADHD. But it can be so much more if taken seriously and applied properly. Yeah. So, what is your further opinion on this? What is your further take on this?
Okay, so on children doing martial arts, okay, for like after school, okay. Well, for me personally, children should be doing martial arts, especially now, because well, if they do it well, they can focus on it. Definitely, they'll have mental toughness. Definitely, they will be taught respect. They'll be taught how should I say, honor, all those things. Okay, some people might say that they might not be relevant nowadays, but I believe that it's still relevant. I mean, if you go somewhere and you have a choice between well, it's like 50-50, you can't really trust individual, and somebody that honorable, always doing what that person says, right? He or she says that they will do, which one would you pick? Definitely the honorable person, right? So whether it's in business, at work, definitely martial arts plays a big role. When you have that, how should I say? What's the word? Martial arts, like honor, like persona. Definitely, yeah, you'll be able to trust these people slightly faster, because they're going to say what they're going to do. Well, they're going to do what they're going to say. Yeah, they're going to do what they're going to say. So children especially, is very good for them to start at the earlier age. All right. A lot of people focus on the discipline, but for me, it's more than that. It's not just the discipline. It's everything. For me, martial arts is everything. It's life. All right. It's definitely life. Um, when they progress further, they will learn about strategies. They will learn about how to keep themselves healthy. So a lot of things you can learn just from martial arts. However, for kids, I would recommend simpler, more direct martial arts like taekwondo, like karate, like silat gayung. These are fantastic martial arts to learn at a young age. However, that being said, the first thing that you need to choose is not really the martial arts. It's actually the teacher. If you can't relate with the teacher, if the teacher doesn't seem honorable, doesn't do what he says, okay, then those are not the teachers you want. What the teachers you want are the people who are like living the martial arts way. People who actually, how should I say, well, they keep to their time, they keep to their promises, all these people, because their character will pass on to your children. So yes, so what we want, yes, martial arts is good, but rather than learning martial arts that are too detailed and too specific, like Wing Chun is one of them, is actually, and then like Tai Chi, go for martial arts that's simpler for them to learn with less stress on the body. Yeah, like I said just now, Taekwondo, Karate, Silat Gayong, I would say also ninja, right? Yes, we have ninjas here in Malaysia. My friend teaches it, all right? Yeah, so look for these people. But again, choose your teacher, choose the instructor. Yeah. Martial arts,
How
well,
do we
if,
do that? I mean, yeah, you're saying coaches are important. Their level of
mhm.
integrity will pass
Yeah,
on, will be
integrity.
will be passed on to the children, because
Yes.
yeah, we will always follow our gurus, isn't it? How do we know? I mean, we must research more on who they are.
Yes,
Um,
I would do my research more. I mean, I'm lucky because I'm a martial artist, so I know which friend to send my son to, right? Which friend not to send. So yeah, so you have to research them, and then you have to get to know them better. Like have a few chats, talk with them. You don't feel comfortable, don't send, because our children is our treasure, right? Yeah.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, now let's move this conversation to its corporate. Gaha, please share with us, with our viewers, on your work with corporate. You've been in Japan for so many years doing work there. Can you tell us more about your journey there?
Okay. I've worked with Japan companies, I would say, all my life. When I started my first work was with in Sarawak. My late father started a business, and I did some work with the Sarawakian people. But after that, after I returned, then I've been doing work with Japanese companies one after another. Um, So I've been very lucky to actually be able to work with a group of with a company that's related to the Toyota company. All right. Okay, that's the best way I can say it. Okay. Um, so because of this exposure, I get to learn. Um, I was an engineer, but after that, I became a translator for the past of 10 years, for about 10 years. So, and then after that, within that 10 years also, I became a trainer, I became a facilitator, I became a coach. So within these 20 years of working, I was able to, I was exposed to how the Toyota Group do their job, do their work. Okay. And this is from the, how should I say, from the operator level, people who actually do the work in the factories, to the top management, and to the chairmen, to the board of director members. So what I learned is, I believe that this is the secret to Toyota's success. Is Toyota, when you come in, they teach you problem solving, and then all the years that you're working with them, they will be increasing your knowledge of problem solving through activities, through exercises, through like exchange. They call it collaborative problem solving. But all of their focus is on problem solving so that they become better, become cheaper, with better quality. Yeah. So my experience, I can't go into too much detail because of things that I've signed, but I've been doing a lot of work with the Toyota Group with like altogether like 10 of their factories altogether around the world. Yeah.
That's
So
amazing. That's amazing. And you know, yeah, organization. There are a lot of organizations um, that sweeps the problem under the carpet. You know, they don't want to face the problems. But I think what you're doing, the collaboration problem-solving method that you introduced to such companies, is crucial, because life happens all the time to us, and life
yes,
happens to organizations. Um,
yes,
problems, yeah, there's no such thing as a perfect world, isn't it, Kaha? So
yeah,
it's actually a good method that we introduce, um, the, where the employees are trained. Whenever you see an issue, whenever you see a problem that needs to be taken care of, then before it blows up to proportion.
Yeah, but that's the strength of Toyota because they all use the same 8 steps. I can share with this because I can share with you that because you can Google it and you can find out what the 8 steps are. And people who does QCC knows that what the 8 steps are. Okay. The amazing thing is this, because everybody knows the same 8 steps. So whether you're a chairman, you're a CEO, or you're a manager, you're a general manager, you are the cleaner, you use the same 8 steps. So when you talk to your bosses, your boss understands where you are in the 8 steps. So it's easier for them to understand you. And there's also, because both sides understand the same 8 steps, and they also understand the QC, I mean, they call it QC tools, but they understand that the tools that you both are using, they also understand if somebody is trying to play hanky-panky or try to cheat, okay? They can also see if somebody is really doing their work. So yeah, so I believe that that's the real key of Toyota success. Everybody knows and understands the same way to solve problems. So me, at that time as an interpreter and translator, I had to learn and understand the 8 steps too, so that I can understand what my advisor is talking about and how, from what angle they're talking about. Yeah, so it's the same 8 steps. So I believe that's amazing. That's really amazing. And they use the same 8 steps to solve any problem in any companies, because Toyota is very big. They've got, what should I say? They've got a factory making machines. They've got factories making robots. They've got factories, of course, engines and cars, that one we do not need to say. But they've got factories making components, electronic components. And they've got insurance companies, they've got construction companies, they've got construction developing companies, right? And they use the same 8 steps. So that's the amazing part. So when you are a Toyota big boss, a leader, you can go to any of the factory and then you can become a Superman immediately because everybody's following the same standards. Yeah. So yes, problem solving, very important.
Yeah, yeah. It's what they are doing is, and for them to grow that big, they are instead of, yeah, never mind the product will become great if you start from the root cause. The root cause
Yes,
is obviously
correct.
the people, isn't it? If the people doesn't have the correct mindset, then everything will crumble. The product will be beautiful when everyone, it's beautiful. The method is beautiful. So you really, what you're doing is you're sharpening your axe before.
Yes, you're sharpening your axe. Yes, you're sharpening your axe all the time, because when we do that, okay, you were talking about everything will be beautiful, right? So mindset is definitely there. For you to how should I succeed in your problem solving, you need to have certain number of thinking, certain number of characters, certain number of mindset, so that that one becomes successful. And since in Toyota, they do it every day. They do problem solving every day. They do improvement activities every day. Oh, okay, I just realized something. I use the word problem solving because in Japanese, it's called problem solving. In the world, in the whole world, everybody knows it as Kaizen. Yeah.
I've
So
heard of
just
it.
to relate, yes, in the world, mostly in manufacturing companies, all right, they call it Kaizen, which is continuous improvement. Yeah, but in Toyota they call it problem solving. That's it. That's actually what you're doing when you're improving something.
It's easier to understand problem solving than if you're continuous improving. Continuous improvement sounds very official,
Improvement.
and you got to switch your corporate brain to think about that. Now I like problem solving.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
problem
I
solving.
see.
Yes,
I
yes, yes.
see. So Kahar, share with our viewers further if you can. I mean, how do you actually, yeah, you mentioned the problem solving, but actually, how do you actually unleash the greatness, within people? Um, what are the sure methods that you can perhaps share with us today?
Surefire method to unleash greatness in people. This might be scary to certain managers and leaders of a company, but for to let people become the geniuses that they are, allow them to think, allow them to solve their own problems. So coming in from Toyota just now, allow them to solve their own problems and let them shine. When they have that opportunity to improve themselves and then improve their workplace, I mean, when you improve something for yourself to make yourself easier, to make your work easier, and then, but at the same time also improve your quality, imagine the amount of pride they have. Just imagine the amount of pride they have. That would solve a lot of, how should I say, what's the best word? That would solve a lot of problems within a company actually. Because when they have pride in what they do, they're gonna do everything with pride. And when they do everything with pride, you get great results at the end. Yes, so that's the key point. Let them think. And then with the problem solving steps, let them think using that so that there's amount of, they don't go out of proportions too much. We want to let them go out of their comfort zone, out of their current thinking, but you won't be able to put it in a certain control. If not, then your workplace will become haywire. But with the 8 steps that Toyota uses, that's already very amazing. I mean, they will be able to solve their own problems. They will have pride in their work, and their knowledge will be continuously improving also. Of course, they will need certain guides, which is now coaching is, how should I say, on the rise everywhere in the world. A lot of people come ask me whether I can teach them coaching or not. Yeah, because now it's about results. So coaches, what they do is they help those people get out of their mind, get into their genius. That's what I like to say. Get out of their mind and get into their genius, and then improve their own workplace. And these coaches are the ones that help companies give results. So in Toyota, if you're a leader of a group, you are already their coach. So for example, there's 20, There's 20 operators that's under you, and you're the supervisor. Then you immediately become the coach for that 20 people. And then for 5 supervisors, they have 1 assistant manager. That 5 supervisors coach is actually the assistant manager himself. So that way you also have teamwork within your company. Yeah, so that's my take on that. Yeah.
It's a total structure. Yeah, nicely built. Yeah.
Yes, nicely built. I mean, if you did it well, you don't even need a training department.
Yeah, and that should be the way, because how often does training department sits next to the operator for the daily? Well, they don't. They sit in the office.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
So they are most of the time alone, and they go trainings maybe once a month, and then that's it. Theoretically, and then what happens practically, they're lost. So it's a good method, yeah, to be training the core, because they are the one who runs operations daily.
And another thing they do is this. In Malaysia, I see that because of HRDF, all these incentives that the government is giving, people take in trainers, and then they give training to the group, to the company, and then they go out. Okay, so how do you know that all of these training is being used at the workplace? But more important than that, how do you know whether they're relevant or not? That's why I believe that coaching will be on the rise. Facilitation, that's something that I've not heard here in Malaysia, will be on the rise after this. Yeah, because how do you know if something works? I mean, the trainer themselves, I mean, I've done a few corporate trainings in Malaysia. So one challenge with Malaysia is, as a trainer, because I look at myself more as an advisor and a coach rather than a trainer. So before a training, I will ask, can I have a look at the workplace? Can I meet the people in question, all right, that I'm going to train? All of these are not allowed. That's my challenge doing work here in Malaysia. I can't have a look at the workplace. I can't have a look at the people that I'm going to train. I can't understand their processes. All I need to do is go inside the room, share, do a bit of test, leave. I mean, yeah, if you do that, how do you know that that knowledge is being used on the ground and actually impacting the company the way it should be? Yeah, that's, so if you want to unleash genius, you let them think. And how do you spur thinking is by giving them the strategies and then let them have a coach so that they can actually be guided rather than going out of proportions everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's also, it's empowerment, isn't it? When, because everybody
Yes,
has
it's
their own,
empowerment.
yeah, they are brilliant. Everybody is brilliant. They have good brains, but depends on where they are. Some people molds them
It's,
to become idiots, you know. But
yeah,
some,
unfortunately, yeah.
that is the word to use, isn't it? But some companies
Yes.
make it so good, the fundamentals where empowerment is key, unleashing their genius by letting them think and do. And that's the only way we duplicate more, we replicate more geniuses in this world. Yeah. Why do you say in Malaysia it's they block knowing more about knowing more about the company before conducting? Where is the hindrance here? Is it from the top bosses that don't want to share all these things because they are scared?
Well, I can only say that I do not know.
Okay.
How should I say? Because everybody says it's SOP, everybody says it's the rule. So I have no idea where the challenge is actually. Yeah, but I mean, most probably they haven't known me well enough to go to let me go in. So maybe that's one of it. I don't do a lot of corporate training in Malaysia. Usually, I'm being forced to do a training in Malaysia usually, but that's it. I mean, there's a lot of hindrances. I mean, I need 3 days. They give me half day, and they expect the same results. That's always the case. Um, and then they have these people come to the training, but the people or still have their own work to do. So when they come in, I mean, where's their focus? Their focus will be on the work, not on the training. Yeah, so that's where I think we need to change there. If Malaysia were to go forward to improve, we need to change that part so that we can actually get results from the things that we spend our money on, which is training. In this context, is training. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. You're a man with integrity. That's what it is. You focus on you want to focus on the ultimate result out of the time that you spend for them. I think your heart is
Yeah.
bigger than money. Um, Money is secondary, isn't it? What's more important is
Oh,
the total result. What what that what that person's asking you for help. So you want to help all the way, but because of this unnecessary thinking, blockage, it's not gonna make them achieve what what needs
yes,
to be
that's
achieved.
I should say. I mean, I'm being known for like they give me all these restrictions. So usually, what I say is, "What if I do the training for free?" So yeah,
Rather,
so yeah, rather than yeah, let me do this training for free. If it's good, then you pay me what you want. Yeah. So that's always been my way. I mean, if a company doesn't know me, I will say I'll do it for free. Then you judge from there. That's what I always say. I have one talk coming soon. It's a talk about my experience, okay, in Japan, and the executive was so shocked when I said, "Okay, it's only 2 hours for the training. I'll do it for free." Because I want that company to achieve what they're supposed to achieve. Yeah. Well, if payment is how they're gonna make it, well, how I can help them achieve, then I'll charge them big money. But yeah,
I
but
know.
usually that's because they don't know me, right? So once they know me, then maybe I can do something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what you're doing is it's great actually because I've been organizing specific in-house trainings for the past 10 years, and
Okay.
majority of the market that I've been working on is Middle East and Africa. Malaysia, I had a
Oh,
chance
wow.
to work on Malaysia, but maybe I would say 10% out of 90%. And there is a difference when we, I call it diagnose a client. Is a few clients in Saudi Arabia where they had issues with their budgeting, forecasting activities in their company. So there are a lot of the head of division, they don't know how to budget and forecast correctly, which
Wow.
resulted in millions of losses because it's a huge construction company. So we came up with a total solution. I worked with a guru who delivered that solution, and it became a big success because they solved the $1 million. So I get you. I totally get you. What you're focusing on is the ultimate result, integrity. So work with coaches, work with trainers to make sure that problems is solved. Not just the fact of sitting in the classroom theoretically saying, teaching them generic theories, because one shoe doesn't fit everybody, isn't it?
No,
Everybody has
yes.
different sizes. Yeah. Okay. So Kahar, okay, let's go on to the next question actually. Now there
Yes,
are,
yes.
and this is more on the machine side, yeah? Now there are many who fear that as machines get smarter, we are in this era now, 2020, no doubt. Like I mentioned earlier, COVID pushes, accelerates that transformation. Humans will be unnecessary. So what is your opinion on this?
Okay, my first question would be, what is the vision? In Japan, they already have a vision about the city of the future, right? So if the viewers would read about MAAS, um, mobility as a service, right? Or CASE, connected autonomous service and also electric, right? If you read about these two, you'd understand the Japanese vision for the city of the future, right? And the point is this: at the same time, Japan have got this vision where the city, everything is run almost autonomously, everything. They have started in certain areas. For example, if you go to Tokyo nowadays, how should I say, before, there are certain areas where there's a lot of taxis, certain areas do not have taxis. So you have to call. But what Tokyo has done is they use AI to actually access the phone locations in Tokyo. And this AI will then direct taxis to areas where there's none. They will direct. So before the people actually look for taxis, there's already taxis over there. Okay, so that's AI in action in Tokyo itself. Other sources, other things they use AI in is actually traffic lights. So the traffic light, I mean, they use sensors to find out where the cars are. There's so many cars in, okay? I mean, in traffic or something like that. And then the AI will actually adjust the traffic light length around the city so that jam or that congestion will be alleviated. So Japan is already moving towards that. So coming back to the question is this: what is the vision? So if the vision, this is where people were coming. If the boss's vision or the board director's vision is only to make money, then they will automize everything. But if the vision is different, meaning that to develop people, to get more geniuses from the team, then there will be 50-50. So it all depends on the vision. So coming back to the worker or the executive themselves, what is your vision? Who do you want to be in 5 years? That's my favorite question. Who are you in 5 years? What are the 5 steps to get there? Taking advantage of 5 steps, 5 years. What are each step is 1 year for you. So what do you want to achieve for each of the year you are on the way to your vision? You need to know that. So if not, you're going to be replaced. So in Japan, they're looking for ways to replace managers nowadays, right? They can cut off the management side so that they can use AI instead of people. So that is something very interesting also, because they're going to use the 8 steps just now and turn it into AI, and then use that so that you, instead of 5 managers, they only work with 1 executive. That's a fantastic idea, I believe. So the question is, these managers, what do you need to do to survive that period? What are the things that you are definitely needed for and nothing else? If you're just needed for a sign, then you're in trouble. Because yeah, the signature can be replaced. Okay, so with sufficient data, okay, so they have a justification, then somebody else can sign it. Yeah. So what is the vision? Who are you in 5 years? What are the 5 steps to get there? And what is your first year plan? Go there. Take that step. If you do not have the skill for going towards that, then get it from training. I mean, Google is wonderful. You get any information you want. However, with information, two things can happen when you have information. Number one is you have mental masturbation, excuse my word, mental masturbation, and you just sit there knowing, thinking that you know, or you get the information, use it, you get experience from it, you understand it better, and you can use it. So take action so that you can use the skill or the knowledge that you already have, or the knowledge you have acquired from wherever it is you have acquired it. That's the key point. If we want to stay relevant, if we want to keep going forward in this future world of AI, then we have to be relevant. So what is the skill that will keep you in relevance? That's it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you're breaking it down to pieces which make sense. A lot of us women are multi-potential. Multi-potentials. We think a lot. We connect everywhere now. Our brain is wired. Yeah. So sometimes it can get overwhelming, and yeah, to break it down into actual, by year, what you want to achieve is it's more achievable that way. Yeah, that makes sense. It does make sense.
So
and just going back
definitely. So if you want to stay relevant, again, break it down to pieces you can manage. That's why we break it down into 5. I mean, if you have a 10-year vision, Toyota has a 100-year vision, break it down to year, or break it down to decades. Chunks that you can manage so that you can see what you need to achieve within that specific amount of time.
Thank you very much. I am going to see you later anyway, so okay, all right.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, just going back on the AI story in Japan that you shared earlier, on the traffic lights. That's very interesting. It solves a lot of problems. Now now the traffic lights are really stagnant. It's not a smart AI technology yet. So that itself will solve a lot of problems. So it brings down the burden from humans. So it does work, isn't it? If you understand humans and machine can synergize towards each other.
Yes. I mean, even the AIs there, I'm sure there's a check and balance, because one of the key elements of success, okay, there's many key elements of success, but one of them is actually check and balance. If the AI does everything, how does the AI know that what it's doing is correct? What kind of feedback loop do you have? And then a person is always where the instinct comes in. So have a look, if this is done, then that might be done. And then we need time for the AI to evolve. So in the evolution state for the AI, in the evolution state of the AI, for whatever system it is, people is still needed to double confirm everything. Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. You know, a couple of years back, I had a chance to open an alteration shop, clothing alteration shop. It went very successful. We made the mall busy. Alhamdulillah. So,
Alhamdulillah.
but a lot of people don't know the story behind the scenes.
Mm,
The main issue is on workforce, staffings.
mm. Oh, okay.
We didn't go for the foreign workers because, mind you, foreign workers are quite they do demand a lot in terms of the salary because they know they're the experts in sewing, and to arrange the visas is also very expensive. So we opted for local workers, our very
Mm-hmm.
own people. What comes with that is, of course, the own set of challenges in terms of how much they can produce
Yes, yes.
and the amount of holidays that is needed. We understand all that, but at that time, just a joke. Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, it would be nice even if we were to have some robots just sewing 24 hours without any hassle, and that will give us more money because the demand is good. So,
Yes, yes. So,
but at the same time, of course, as entrepreneurs, as owners of companies, we want to be tactful to give back to the community. They need jobs to survive anyways, isn't it? So I guess,
yeah, but that's also something to think about actually. When, yes, people need jobs, they need to survive. We think about them, but are we helping them make, are we helping them by, how should I say, triggering them to think for themselves? A lot of things that are being done, from what I see, is it's getting the people to, okay, so you don't have any work, okay, so you do this training, then you can do this work. So it's the top people thinking for them. I mean, the management thinking for them. So what if we let them think? So trigger them to think by themselves. We might get something more than that. There's a book by somebody called Howard Gardner called The Eight Intelligences. This is a book, well, Howard Gardner actually did a research, and he found out that everybody is a potential genius, provided they work within their area of genius. So, and there's 8 of them. Yeah, please read it out. I mean, I can't recall it at the moment. It's like interpersonal, intrapersonal, language, nature, all the different aspects. Once you understand which area of genius you are, where you have more control of, then you can become a genius in, I mean, everyone can become a genius. And that's what, personally, that's what I want. If we have a country of geniuses, or imagine what kind of country that could be. Provided we have a strong leader to be able to, how should I say, help these geniuses thrive. So we also need leadership training. So yeah, hopefully I can be that kind of leader. Not that I want to become the leader of this country or not, or something like that. I only want to become a leader so that people can thrive. Yeah, that's what I do.
yes, yes. You know what, Gaha, actually, right? When you're the owner of a business, you're the CEO,
Mm.
it's hard to bring yourself down sometimes. I'm not saying all the time. Bring yourself
Yes.
down at the same level with your people, what they are, how they are functioning, the need of getting them to think on their own feet that will actually benefit you at the same, because we are bogged down with the profit and loss, what we have to pay, what salary, bills, rents, everything, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
we forget this element. The CEOs forget this element, or never mind me, the big CEOs, they are going nuts sometimes because they have a lot of things to pay. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I do coach some of them. I understand that.
yeah. What's your advice to this
Advice?
to this breed of people who are always on that level and on that high of making money?
Again, it comes back to the vision.
Mm.
If your vision doesn't include people, then don't include people in your business. If the vision includes people, then include people in the business. That's it. So for some people, they just want the money. If you want the money, then why do the business? Because there's a lot of ways of making money other than doing whatever business that you are in. But if your vision and your mission match the business, then you do the business. Then all the stakeholders will come in place. Yeah.
I like
But if
I like that,
you're,
Kahar. I like that. It's
you like that?
yeah, it makes sense. You want to start a business of people,
Yeah.
take care of them lah, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So if your business have got people in that vision, then you include people in the business. But that's unfortunately that's not what people do. A lot of people, they want to make money by starting a business, and their vision doesn't include people. And when they include people, they become tension now. Then they cannot go down. Then everything have to follow what they say. I mean, that one is better for you to have robots than people. But when your vision include people in the business, then things will be amazing. I'm doing work in a clinic currently. Okay, this clinic is amazing because it gives, how should I say, a different take on pain. Okay, a lot of places when you have pain, they give painkiller. You feel okay for a while, then you go for another painkiller. This clinic, what they do is they find other ways to treat your pain so that you don't have that pain, right? And they do their best not to use painkillers. So it's a fantastic idea which I have not found anywhere else. Okay, but the point is this. Hopefully they don't mind me sharing a bit of this. Okay. Before this, the leader of that company or leader of the clinic didn't understand the point. So when they do planning, they forgot the planning for the people. So the clinic would move, but the people is left behind. Their people is left behind. And now what we're doing is changing it back so that the people is included in the plan. Because the leaders his name is Dr. Saiful Haziq, by the way. He is his mission is to humanize humans. I'm still trying to understand it actually, but it's to humanize humans. So what does humans mean? Humanizing humans, what does that mean? It means that, I just learned this like yesterday. Humanizing humans is about allowing them to become who they want to be and allowing them to become who they are. That's what he means by humanizing humans. But before this, when he does the business, people are not included in his plans. Well, he didn't know about all these technologies before this, right? But he was looking for it. That's how he found me. So when this clicked, then the business exploded. So within these past 6 months, even with the PKP, right, with the PKP, MCO, whatever you call it, the clinic thrived. They didn't need to cut anybody's salary, even though businesses were down. Yeah, their business was a bit down at that time. So when you focus on people, you get better results. Now they are already back on their track. Yeah, so that's what I mean. Before this, they were struggling. They had people in their mind, but they didn't include people in their plan. So they were struggling. They were living hand to mouth. But now they have people, they've got their vision and they're moving towards it. It's just amazing. I'm just excited with them.
And I'm I'm happy for you to get involved and finding your path with them as well. Definitely. You know, I had this great conversation with a master optologist a couple of weeks ago. He's a scientist of organization, and he did say that during MCO, a lot of new millionaires and billionaires will be born. And it's a chance for certain category of people to thrive, but it takes a certain breed to achieve that goal. And what you just said now probably makes sense as well. Humanizing humans, and perhaps would be one of the best formula to thrive during our in the next normal. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So last but not least, how here's a question. Yeah. Now, how is AI challenging management theories and disrupting conventional planning processes. You probably already answered it indirectly earlier, but perhaps, you know, if you can delve deeper into the subject matter, please.
Okay, AI. Okay, the biggest challenge is actually how to make the right decision. That's always the biggest challenge for everybody, not just companies, all right? How to make the right decisions. Well, for me, I think a lot of people agree that for you to make the right decisions, you need to have the right data. Okay, when you have the right data, then you weigh all the consequences, all right? Then you can make the right decision. However, a lot of us do not have the right data to be able to do any, to make any right decisions. I mean, that's a challenge with a lot of entrepreneurs, especially new ones. How to make decisions, correct decisions fast, right? So AI, what it does is, it forces you to think of what the right data is first. Once you have the right data, then you can put an AI into place. If you do not have the right data, I mean, you do not have the right parameters that you want to manage, the AI will be useless. So the first thing you need to think is, what is the right data, or what is the right parameter for you to control so that you get the right result that you want. So once you have this right data, right parameters that you're controlling, then you can go to the next step. How do you get the AI to calculate, analyze, and then execute? Okay, the strength about AI is they can actually learn about that. So management is also the same thing. Management is when you go in, you weigh all the parameters and the data, and then from there, you come up with a solution. So AI can do the same thing, definitely. It does require some check and balance, and then that check and balance will actually ensure that nothing wrong will happen. But over time, the AI will learn your check and balance, and then the AI itself will be able to make the right decisions. So that's where the taxis just now that I mentioned, all right, the traffic lights is the same thing. So when because the traffic lights would need the right kind of parameters and data to work on. The taxis also the same. The taxis in Tokyo, the AI actually picks up the number of phones that exist within the area. And then from that data, that number of phone, it breaks it down. Which one is traveling a lot? Which phone travels a lot? Which phone stays in the area long? And then from that breakdown, the AI rearranges the taxis to go to certain areas where they are actually needed. And the result for that was usually when they interview taxi people, 80% of their time was spent waiting. After they use the AI in Tokyo, now they only spend about 20% of their time waiting, which is a huge improvement. And then you are also helping the taxi drivers because waiting doesn't give them money, right? Yeah. So that's one. So even with the traffic light, so what is the correct parameter that you're controlling? What is the correct data that you are managing? When you have these two correct, then your AI will work. And then your symbiosis between the person and the AI also will also work. Because if the person doesn't understand what the parameters and the data the AI is watching or controlling, then the person cannot work with that AI. Yeah. So for you to replace a manager with AI, you need to do the same thing. Again, parameters and also data.
Thank you, Kahar.
Yeah, I guess that answers, yeah.
Yes, no, definitely. I think today's chat is, for me, I exceptionally like to sit down with gurus such as yourself.
I'm a guru.
You
Thank
are
you.
in your
But
own
I'm not yet,
expertise.
not yet.
You're being humble as well, I
Working on
see.
it, working on it.
No, that's good. That's good. Human, being humble is also key to be known as a good coach. Yeah.
Well, if I'm not trying to move forward, then what I do can be taken over by an AI, and I don't want that.
No, we don't want that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Look,
Yeah.
you see, talks like this with people like yourself is crucial for the viewers, especially out there, because we normal people, we are busy with our daily lives. And at my end, I am also a mother. Uh, there's a lot of things that we need to take care of, our house chores, our visions, our business visions, our cash flows, and everything else. So talks like this keeps us sane. It keeps us motivated to live another day positively, and hopefully we'll be, the graph chart will be climbing up nicely instead of it going down here, because we can do that during this trying period, COVID era, we call it. Yeah?
Well, repeating Barack Obama, yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, yes, we can. We have to work
Yes.
together. Yeah, yes, we can, definitely. Because whatever it is, whatever the condition around, the only person that can change us is us. No one else can. Some people say the government can help you change, your boss can help you change, your leader. They can do that up to a certain extent. But in the end, the person that's going to change you is you. Person that's going to change me is me. So work on yourself. Yeah, work on yourself, definitely.
Well said, Kahar. Well said, Kahar. So thank you very much for today. Really appreciate our talk, and as mentioned many times, to take your busy schedule off for us. And viewers, thank you very much for clicking in, for watching this video right till the end. Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, and I wish you all a happy day, happy week ahead, and stay safe till the next episode. Thank you.